How's it going, everyone? It seems like the PlayStation Plus freebies for the month of December have once again been leaked by the fine folks over at Deal Labs. I don't think a lot of people are going to be happy with December's offerings. I mean, maybe some people will. I'll go over it. I'll give you guys my thoughts. We'll talk about it. And also, we have a couple of other updates. Neo: The World Ends With You, while I thought incredibly highly of the game, didn't meet Square Enix's sales expectations, so that's a little bit of a bummer. And also, Shovel Knight Pocket Dungeon comes to PlayStation 4 on December the 13th. More on that at the end of this video. But first of all, you guys are probably curious on the PlayStation Plus offerings. Let's get right to it. The rumor has it as Godfall, Mortal Shell, and LEGO DC Supervillains. Now, this is coming from Deal Labs, so they've been on point. I mean, they've been the people that have been leaking the Plus lineups like every month for the last, I want to say, at least 4 to 6 months. And, yeah, let's talk about the lineup. Godfall is a game that got a mediocre reception at launch of the PlayStation 5, and mediocre probably puts it kinda lightly. Now, that would be the Challenger Edition, and it would be available on both PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4. Yeah, a lot of people don't even know that Godfall got a PlayStation 4 release, but nevertheless, that would be the top game. Mortal Shell would be the game that I think most people would get excited for. That was a game, while I wouldn't say is perfect, is a game that a lot of people had some fun with. It's a Souls-like title, so that's always going to be something, you know, that does interest some people. You know, that's a notable game, but not like something that's absolutely top tier. And then you have LEGO DC Supervillains, which I think is a game that, you know, it'll be accessible to just about anyone. I mean, a LEGO game is always a pretty decent time. However, I just don't think people are going to get super enamored by it, especially as this is the one Christmas month, the way we're going to end off the year. It is kind of what it is. Maybe part of this is because the PlayStation Store is going to run that gargantuan holiday sale next month, and they don't want to give away any games that are going to be heavily discounted anyway, and rather they would try to sell them to you. Godfall is a game that I feel like has just completely fallen off the radar. It had a little bit of buzz going into its release just because I think as a PlayStation 5 launch game, it was a game that just had a little bit of aura surrounding it, especially because it was a PlayStation 5 exclusive at the time, PS5 console exclusive, I should say, but now, you know, it's not a game a lot of people are buzzing about. Mortal Shell, on the other hand, I mean, the game was relatively well received, mostly positive reception on Steam, 75%, 1,716 reviews. I definitely heard some words about the game being relatively clunky at launch, but it has been updated and it has gotten some improvements over the course of the time it's been out, a few months. So hopefully that does turn out well and people do enjoy that. But LEGO DC Supervillains, that might be the game people end up enjoying the most, just because I find it to be kind of a hard time to not really enjoy a LEGO game. I mean, they're accessible to anyone. So yeah, a little bit of a bummer where this is how we're ending the year. And again, it's coming from Deal Labs. They've been on point for so long that I'm inclined to believe that this is accurate, especially because last month, you know, we got those extra VR games. I should say this month prior to that, it's been kind of up and down for the last 3 to 4 months, but the beginning portion of the year and the end of last year, there was so much promise, and we were just getting banger month after banger month, and now it's kind of been like, it's not as good as when the PS5 launched, and for that first 6 months, or 8 months, really. Now we're kind of now it's kind of been back to one good month, one off month, one good month, one off month, and maybe I'm out to launch. Maybe some of you guys will be super excited by this lineup, but just based on every time I've talked about Godfall, people just panning the game in our comment section, the reception it's gotten from reviews and everything like that, I just don't think that's going to be the top tier game that gets people super excited, but let me know if you think I'm wrong. Alright, moving on from that, is some depressing news. Neo: The World Ends With You unfortunately didn't meet Square Enix's sales expectation. This is coming from Push Square and also Square Enix's latest financial report. It was noted while Neo: The World Ends With You was well received by users, it has underperformed our initial expectations. And I did imagine that maybe Square Enix would have somewhat high expectations for it just because, you know, they had promoted it through Kingdom Hearts, they had remastered the game, put it out on phones and Nintendo Switch, they had done, you know, the demo for Neo: The World Ends With You, and that was really well received. I constantly was, you know, going to bat for it and telling you guys to check it out, and it seems like those of you that played it really did enjoy it. I loved the game, thought the battle style was great, thought the music was excellent, story was pretty good. Was really hoping that the game would do well, because this was the same story with The World Ends With You back in 2008. Loved by critics, loved by the people that played it, but just didn't get that fanfare from a commercial standpoint to warrant a sequel until 2021, 13 years later, so it took quite a bit of time, and now you know, back to square one seemingly with this. Hopefully Square Enix doesn't give up on it, but I understand it is a business, you have to take things as they come, and if the game underperformed commercially, you know, there's a lot of other IPs or potential IPs that they could put their resources towards. I would still recommend, if you have yet to play the game, go check it out. I think you guys would have a great time with it. You know, it's a very good game, and it's getting cheaper and cheaper, so you can get it at a bit of a discount at this point, but yeah, really bummer to hear that, but sometimes that's what happens. You know, I talk about JRPGs gaining some momentum over here in the West, but it's not, you know, the end-all. Every single JRPG that's well-received by critics is going to be a slam dunk from a sales standpoint. A Tales of Arise did very well, but, you know, sometimes high-quality games, that's just the reality of the situation. And sales numbers are always gonna be what drives potential future entries. So hopefully it's not the end of the story, but yeah, a bummer that the game did not sell well. Lastly, I do want to note, Shovel Knight Pocket Dungeon does come December 13th. It'll be on PlayStation 4. On top of that, a Steam release is coming as well on December 13th. Delve with Shovel Knight into the depths of the Pocket Dungeon in an action-packed puzzle-adventure mashup like none other. The game notes enter a world of falling block puzzle games with a dungeon-crawling twist, bump into enemies to battle them, and trade damage in unique combat systems, an all-new hybrid that's never been seen before. Group foes together for massive chain attacks while grabbing keys, power-ups, and potions to refill your health. Take control of more than 10 of your favorite heroes from the Shovel Knight universe, each with a unique power and playstyle. Equip yourself on the fly with a treasure trove of items and equipment. Mix and match your loadout to prepare for any encounter. Play in a variety of ways with adventure mode, 2-player competitive versus mode, a daily challenge, and much more, and a bold new visual style is noted as well. So that's out December the 13th, but that's gonna do it for me again. Couple of disappointing news, honestly. I mean, the plus news, maybe you'll take it a different way. Maybe people are going to be super happy with the lineup. Let me know if you guys are excited for this as a potential lineup. Again, coming from Deal Labs, they're always on point with this, so I would say 99.9% this is going to end up being what it is, but let me know your thoughts on that. Neo, The World Ends With You, seemingly, unfortunately, not meeting sales expectations, and Shovel Knight Pocket Dungeon coming to PlayStation 4 on December 13th. That's going to do it for me. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.